Late in the afternoon, at a lively astrobiology conference at Stanford University, a hush fell over the small auditorium. Researchers from around the globe had gathered to discuss one of the greatest mysteries. How would we recognize an alien if we actually came face to face with it? A young scientist stood before the crowd. "What evidence," he asked, "would convince you beyond doubt that extraterrestrials exist?" Suggestions bubbled up from the audience. Maybe reading clues in the gases of a planet's atmosphere or spotting strange temperature signatures on its surface. But each idea felt incomplete. Then one attendee piped up, half in jest, "A photograph!" The room erupted in laughter, then quieted with thoughtful nods. In an era where data and measurements are everything, why did a simple image feel so powerfully convincing? It seemed obvious that if you saw an alien in a photo, you'd know it wasn't just a boulder or some random geological feature. There must be some unmistakable sign of life, design or purpose or something else that sets living things apart. Those who work in astrobiology already know that life stands out from non-life in key ways. Rocks, wind, and dirt do not appear to be trying to do anything at all, while living creatures, even the tiniest bacteria, have an uncanny degree of complexity and cooperation among their parts. A single cell contains countless components working together, hardly comparable to even the most exquisite natural rock formation. Moreover, living things all share one ultimate goal: survival and reproduction. Even an insect you try to squish will scramble desperately to evade your shoe. It doesn't need a human-like consciousness to behave as though its survival matters. That sense of trying or striving is everywhere in nature. A squirrel bounding between branches, a plant stretching its leaves toward the sun. All of these actions hint at a powerful principle. Life seems designed to persist. The conference buzzed with one familiar conclusion. Such intricate design almost certainly results from natural selection, the only known force capable of creating complex adaptations without an external designer. If a population of organisms has three traits, variation, heredity, and differential success, then over time, the ones best suited for the environment pass on their genes more effectively, gradually shaping the entire species. An imaginary example was offered by someone near the back of the conference room. Picture Glipgloops, bizarre creatures with varying eye stalk lengths. Thanks to inheritance, Glipgloops with long eye stalks produce babies with the same trait. Because those longer eye stalks grant an advantage, maybe they can spot danger sooner, these well-equipped Glipgloops leave more offspring. Generation after generation, the eye stalks get longer. That's natural selection at work. Over eons, these creatures would seem eerily designed to have the perfect eye stalk for survival. A speaker stepped forward to remind everyone that these ideas apply to aliens, no matter their chemistry or biology. Whether they have DNA or some unimaginable genetic system, whether they're carbon-based or silicon-based, if they've evolved into complex forms, they must have gone through a process much like natural selection. That's what any photo would reveal. Structures and shapes that speak to adaptation and purpose, far beyond what geology or chance alone can produce. Of course, there could be simpler, borderline life forms, replicating molecules that never develop variation or complexity, drifting across a distant planet's surface. But without the shaping pressure of natural selection, they couldn't progress into anything we would call complex life, and they would be so fragile that they'd likely vanish as conditions changed, leaving behind little to celebrate or even detect. As the conference wound down, the conversation turned to the future. Astrobiologists there recognized that they've only begun to scratch the surface of what Darwin's ideas might teach us about life beyond Earth. By understanding the universal rules of natural selection, they hope to predict at least some general features of extraterrestrials, like how their internal parts might cooperate, or how they could specialize into distinct organs or limbs. In the end, the attendees dispersed, still electrified by the question. Someone near the door was heard saying, "If we ever do snap that photo of an alien, it'll probably look totally bizarre." But at the same time, we might see something strangely familiar, a pattern of design, an echo of life's shared blueprint, shaped by the same unyielding rules that guide evolution everywhere. And so, as the sun set over Stanford's palm-lined avenues, the scientists headed off with renewed determination. They knew that if the day ever comes when a grainy image beams back from some far-off probe, and on it they spy a shape that seems to be doing something purposeful, they'll finally know that after all the theories and searching, they've found the genuine article: life on another world.